Hello my friends, Wiggle here, working on the basement today. It cooled off, we finally got a break. It's August, mid-August-ish. So I milled down a yellow pine log, short leaf pine, and that was 16 feet long, and look at how pretty that lumber is. Got all out of one log. I needed 11, I got 10, but we'll make it work. So yeah, it is definitely green lumber, and wet, moist. So I'm gonna go ahead and build my shelves out of it, let it dry, just there, and then we'll sand it in place later. It'll finish out pretty easily. Get this pine. Look how pretty that is. So, yeah, and I want you to notice this corner here of my house. We do get occasional water problems. I'm going to be working on the guttering and trying to solve that and some grading. However, there's the corner, and it gets wet sometimes when we really have like monsoons. Not too bad, we get a little water on the floor. So the shelves are gonna go. Oh yeah, look at my doors here. French doors, metal clad. Jamb was too small, opening was too small, so I had to plane down the sides there, get it all to fit. But we got it in there. Kind of a pain. That was a free door. Wasn't that a nice thing? Oh no, I paid $100 for it. Had to pick it up. So the plan is, and I'm going to try to do this while it's still kind of hot, the humidity, and work inside and so forth. So you see how that kind of thing looks. Paneling. It's just little strips of scraps paneling that I made. It looks like barnboard. And then that corner trim, just a weird way they built this place. See, I put that trim up and I put the little pieces of plywood, and that would be like a chase for all my wires and stuff, so I don't have to get in the ceiling. I'll just run my Ethernet. I'm all on Ethernet down here, so I want to have wires, and I'll just run them through those chases. And then I have shelves like those. I'm going to put those here. Big long set along here, and then a little break where that receptacle is, and then another bookcase there underneath that shelf, and then I'll put the tile top on it just like that. I have taken down a wall that was in here. This is where the floor ends. So I'm gonna, that's that tile that was in that room, and that's gonna go on that floor. So they have plastic on that wall, visqueen, from that's how they did it. And this had paneling on it. I tore the paneling off, put sheetrock on. I'm not gonna finish that out. Now that visqueen comes out the bottom, so I'm going to just trim off that visqueen. I'm going to sweep all that out real good. And really there hasn't been any problem with, you can see that the sheetrock hasn't gotten wet. However, I'm going to go ahead and put metal studs against the wall at a 2x4 height. Screw that to that wall. And then I'm going to just use a 2x4 on the floor, and over here I'm going to use a 2x3 and space it up. That way there's a little small crack at the bottom that water can come out theoretically, and I'll put some screen over it, keep bugs and rodents or whatever out if they get in. Then I'm going to put a fan down at this end, and when we need to, we just turn on that little fan and plug it in or whatever, and it'll blow air through there and dry that out, because I don't want anything back there festering. So if we do see water running out through the screen, then we'll turn on the fan. dry it out. Leave it on for a couple days, and that should be. I'll probably be able to stop it from leaking, but if I can't, I want to make sure that we have a plan. This whole slab kind of slopes a little bit downhill. Not a perfectly level slab, but at least it drains. So anyway, I'm going to use those full runs of pine, 1x10 pine, and I'm just going to fill in this whole area here. So I'll just show you my progress as I go. So I'll put that little strips of paneling above it, and I'll paint this ugly wall. I'll scrape all that old adhesive off from where they had paneling glued to the wall, and I'll just paint it, and it'll look like that wall there. And the ceiling needs a coat of paint. You can see where the old room was. It's kind of a pain having a wall go right over that wood stove. So I may use air conditioning, but we definitely heat with wood. Air conditioning is like my last luxury. I'm on grid and I use it. I'm not going to suffer till I have to. It's probably kind of spoiled of me, but I work hard and I'm not a very luxurious person, but I'm going to have my AC while I can. And then I'll look at off-grid, solar options, but I'm not there yet. I'll probably get one of those solar mini splits and do this room down here. This is going to be kind of like our living room. My upstairs is really harvest gold carpet and painted. It's the 70s. Look, I think it's original carpet and it's pretty beat up. So we're gonna get this done down here, move down here, use this as a living room, and then up there I'll put in some high quality laminate flooring and just change it over, put a little ceramic just around the upstairs chimney where the fires, where the wood stove is up there as well. So anyway, this is one of the things I'm working on. And I'll just show you some of the garden stuff later. I'll just share this project with you. I'll hopefully take a little video as I proceed, show you what it looks like. So you'll end up seeing the little gap here for a fan to the left, a little space down there for the right for the airflow and for water to run out, and so forth. So I'll give you a few shots of my progress. Anyway, this is wiggle out. Alright, here's an update. Got the metal stud against the wall, as high as that 2x4. Then I made some little brackets out of another piece of track. So I just cut the little ears off, pounded flat, just put a few screws, and now it's holding that 2x4. It's not attached to the floor, it's just floating. I cut those little, kind of look like pallet notches out of that, just to get the airflow, and if any water, it'll come out of there. So I'll just set my shelf right on top of that. And since my lumber is green, I'm not going to really put too many screws in it. Just going to let it dry out, then we'll take it all apart and sand it. Then we'll screw it all together. But it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to be in between this wall. So I'll put a couple of screws in it, but not many. So the fan will go there in the corner, and it'll blow the air in, and the air will go under the shelf and come out down there. And if we get a flood, then there's a place for the water to come out, and not just going to have books on the shelf. So anyway, I'm going to go out there and start cutting some shelves. And the length doesn't really shrink that much. It's the width. So the board shrinks width-wise. And it shrinks a little bit lengthwise, but not much. Not bad. It's the width. That's the thickness, and then across the worst is the width of the board. Alright. So here is the bookshelves being made. I just cut 11-inch pieces of material, and then I divided it into 3 because it's about almost 12 feet wide. So I just used a little speed square, square everything up, and that's the only screws. There's no screws in the bottom. just screwing right there in the little. Then I'll set the next one up, and I won't screw those together yet. The only thing that will hold it together is later I'll put a strip across the face of these and nail into each one, and then that will finish nail, and that will hold the sections together. So right now it's just kind of floating there. But I mean, it's heavy, and when you put stuff on it, it's not going anywhere. And obviously you kick these around and just level them up before you nail on the face. So I'm going to tie that corner in. It's 11-inch shelf. I'm going to do 2 11s. And then whatever's left after I do that, it'll be just about right. If I have a taller shelf on the top, I think they're all going to be about 11. It might be like 10 and a half. So that'd be perfect for books. So there's that.